Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Mariner of Spirit. I'm just excited that we're on and this is working, and hopefully it'll be a successful night. We have a great guest tonight. Before we get to him, we have our co-host tonight too, Carol Garcia, and I'm not going to mention him until I get done with my few things that I mentioned before the show. So, number one, I go ahead and talk about the people that I support. And that number one is Potographs, and that's Tim Miley and his wife Lauren. And they do fundraisers for animal shelters and things like that. They do a great event that's called Potographs, and they have a great list of speakers, and they do a lot of great work. Tim and Lauren, exceptional work, and a lot of the people that you can't see at one time, you'll see 3 or 4 of them together on one of his events, and they're all great people. He does an amazing job. He always has. I've been to a few myself, and it's wonderful. I wish I could go ahead and do the one. He's going to do one up in Michigan. I think that maybe this week or next week. I'm not certain, but check it out and see if you're around there, and if you get an opportunity to go see him, it's well worth it. Number 2 is PKC, Paranormal Kicks Cancer. That's Chris Gaskowski and Alex Wilkinson, and they do basically the same thing. They do fundraisers via haunted houses, haunted events. They'll go to locations and they'll have people that buy tickets, and all that money goes towards cancer research. So that's it for people I support. And the only other thing that I like to mention is I like to mention the people that are authors that have been on my show. And the first one is Bruce Holliday, Tobias Wayland, Adam Benedict, Kathy Kressel, Barnaby Jones, Cheryl Lynn Cotter, Dr. Heatherly Langdon, Lynn Monet, Ron Iacovetti, Victoria Munday, Tony Rathman, Natalie Jones, Patty Negri, Sylvia Schultz, Amelia Cotter, Rex Nielsen, David Sloan, Christina Bloom, Bay Song, Joseph Hellant, Dr. Rebecca Foster. And if you happen to be down in the Florida area right now, David is doing another weekend at the firehouse. They're doing a actual haunt there, and they've also are doing another book signing. And he's got a old friend of mine, and that's going to be down there with him. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in Carol.
Hi.
And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in our guest. It's David Ullman from the Ullman House.
Hello.
And good to have you, Dave.
Good to be had.
Glad that you're here. And you know, the last time we talked was a while ago, and I'm sure that you've been going to the wall. And I'm not going to use the word balls, but
Oh, please, you can use balls.
Are you okay?
I was just looking for some things.
Okay.
Yes, I'm
balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall, right?
Okay, so why don't you give everybody a little idea of exactly what your house is about, the location, and a little brief history about everything. So it's coming from you instead of me.
Oh, sure. Well, the house, I was going to start going off on a riff saying, well, the house is like a realtor. Like, well, the house is 3 stories, 4,200 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. No, the house is up in the hills above Los Angeles, above the city. And it's on a very famous driveway, private driveway, as a matter of fact. I think your audience will be familiar with the word Cielo Drive. And we're talking Cielo Drive private, where literally when I take a step outside my front door and I turn to the left, about 200 feet away is the gate where the Tate murders once stood. It's been destroyed now and there's a new house there, but it's literally, as my friends used to say, it's like a stone's throw from your house, man. It's so right there. And it's true. It's literally right down the street. I take my dog there every day to walk. The new puppy that I just got a couple weeks ago. And the house is infamously known as the Mount Everest of haunted houses and the Disneyland for the dead, according to Dr. Barry Taff, parapsychologist, who was here 21 years ago now, in 2005, and documented the crazy levels, electromagnetic field levels, otherwise known as EMF levels, here at the house. And I'll just have to say, it's lively with the undead.
That's wonderful.
So have you done anything?
Time out.
I'm
going to turn off the aquarium filter because I can hear the water return, and it's got to be terrible in the acoustic in the background of what you're hearing my mic, because it sounds like somebody's in the background taking a leak. So wait 1 second. I'm going to unplug the filter.
Okay. Oh, we got Linda Judd, Barbara Spear, civil engineer, 1491, and Nancy Noonan Kelly right now. So, okay. Now don't forget to plug that thing back in, okay?
Oh, obviously, yeah. Sometimes I wait, I forget, and I do it the fine day going, I know I don't hear something in this room. It should be making some noise. Hi, Linda. Hi, Uncle, or Uncivil, UN civil engineer. Hi, Barbara.
Uncivil engineer.
Uncivil engineer. So, as I was saying, the house has got lots of activity.
Okay.
That's my neighbor's dog. My dog doesn't bark, luckily, but I have 25 CCTV cameras inside the house running 24/7, and then I have an additional 5 on the outside of the house. As a matter of fact, 5 on the outside of the house, all the way around the perimeter. So if something's happening outside, we can always check and see if that's the causation for what we're having experience-wise at the house.
Do all the cameras have night vision?
Oh, yes. And mics, and they're incredibly sensitive. The mics, I've got videos, I think 300 videos on my YouTube channel, and we've recorded disembodied voices, meaning on a number of occasions, I'll be here by myself or with a guest, and different people, obviously, through the years, and I will have recorded voices that are not attributable to television, radio, or anything other than something in the house is here with us, but not physically in the flesh here with us. And I'm not talking like wah 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 wah, like the Charlie Brown, the adults in the Charlie Brown in the Peanuts TV shows. I mean, I'm talking, you can understand what they're saying. And it's not like, oh, I gotta listen and decipher what they're saying. I can't understand. I mean, clear as a bell, like saying, hi, John, all the way to effing pricks.
Wow.
And I mean, and it's not like we're actively pursuing the activity. It's more like I'm just happenstance doing stuff, and like I hear it, or something triggers me to say, look at or I'm watching the video, and it's like, oh God, I just heard something, and I listen to it, and it's like turn up the volume, is going, oh yeah, there it is, including one voice that said, "I'm here" 3 times in my bedroom when I was asleep and rustling around because I heard the voice say, "I'm here," and I'm going, what the? And I looked at the clock and I said, all right, fine, I'll go back to bed. And I basically looked on the review and I found it, and it was like, holy crap. I heard the voice and said it 3 times. I'm here. I'm here. And it's always a very white, whispery voice, almost on top of the microphone like this. I'm here. I'm here. And it's crazy. It's like one, and it's like I've heard bits of it, and then I listened to the whole video, and it's like there was a lot more being said that I didn't hear, and I just heard a snippet of what was being said.
Wow. So you actually
So have
physically
you made
audibly?
a comparison?
Sorry.
No.
No,
The voices they're all
go ahead.
different. We have different voices. We also have a voice that's in Spanish during a seance. It's got to be about 10 years ago now, at least. And this was during a seance, and this was on a digital recorder, and somebody had it also on a video camera. And you hear the voice say, "Let it go, mija." And what was funny is that there was a girl at the table of the seance at the event. And after the seance, she goes, "That was my father. He died either 4 or 5 years ago of cancer," she said to us. And she goes, "And I haven't been able to go on with my life since he passed."
Wow.
That's what's strange. So we have a bilingual,
Wow.
EV.
So
Yeah.
is there a relationship on the voices compared to the people that were one door down for the night of the murders and that? Or are there any voices that come clear? No,
Here's one
there's
story
no
I can tell you.
relationship.
Well, again, I don't reach for the stars as it is, because my personal belief is that unless there's
Okay.
something that is connected directly to that person, it's kind of hard to attribute it to them. It's too easy to, but it's kind of hard to legitimately make that claim. And I generally don't like to make claims of such, except in one case.
Okay.
And this is the setup. I'm here in the dining room. I mean, my friend's here in the dining room with me. He's getting his bags unpacked. He just came down from San Luis Obispo, and I'm in the kitchen to my left, and I'm getting stuff, making some food for us. And I say to John, it's too bad you're going to be moving to Georgia. I said, I'm going to miss you. And then I heard a voice say, we're going to miss him too, something to that effect. And I was like going, and he had been here several times over the past year, and he's now moving to Georgia. And it was like the last time he's coming to visit was like his swan song to visit the house. And I said, John, I just heard the spirit say, they're going to miss you. And I was like, oh my God, at the same moment, I said, I got to go downstairs and send somebody an email. So I'm thinking, John, I said, I'm going downstairs. I got to take care of something. So I go downstairs, and this is at about 5:30 in the afternoon in the summer, July. So it doesn't get dark here till about 7:30, 8. So I go downstairs, and the next thing I know is I hear John say, David, are we alone? Yelling it from up here. And I'm like, yeah, John, why do you ask? And he goes, I just heard a girl's voice say, hi, John. So I come upstairs and I start, banter with him saying, well, John, what, blah, 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 blah. We go and we watch the video on 3 different cameras. And here's what's interesting. The modulation, meaning the sound, the loudness of the voice is loudest when on the camera that's right next to the stairwell. The camera, there's also a camera right here next to the aquarium, and then there's a camera on the other side of this partition here that goes into and faces into the living room. So when we listen to it, you can hear as clear as a bell a woman's voice say, "Hi, John."
Did he recognize the voice?
And I thought, oh God. Now, on that moment, I can actually, if you want, I can actually go to YouTube and pull it up and share that with you and also share the link. But it was amazing because the odds of me hearing them say, as I heard them, meaning the collective group of them from down the street that were familiar with him because he had been here so many times, right? When I heard that, I said, oh my God. I said, there's no question of personally, my personal belief in attributing the voice was to Sharon, because she had seen him several times before when he had visited over the course of the year, coming down from San Luis Obispo to visit, to hang out and go ghost hunting, blah, blah, blah. And the idea that I go downstairs and he's all by himself, which in my personal belief and experiences is most of the time the spirits don't want to do something in front of me because it's out of respect for me, that they don't want to basically, as we say, mess with my head, because they know it'll mess with my head to a degree, and they don't need me to have that thing. So I say that it makes sense that I leave the room and the spirits decide, hey, guess what? We're going to go and mess with John. And he's all by himself and he's leaving, and it's a perfect opportunity to get to him while he is going to be alone. So that's my personal belief about the what we're talking about. And that's when I said, I personally believe that that's attributable to them. That's what I mean. I think in that case, yes, that was them basically chiming in and saying, hey, John, we're here. So that's personally what I believe it was, honestly. And I'm sorry I'm not looking at you guys. I'm looking for the Hi John video on YouTube.
Do you have another question, Carol?
Oh, I have tons of questions, Greg.
Okay.
Ask. We'll ask. Just because I'm looking for the video doesn't mean that I can't,
How did you come about getting or obtaining the property that you're in now?
Well, that's an interesting, curious story. Let me see, mid-November 1998, my dad calls me up at 8 in the morning on a Sunday morning and says, David, I found this lot for sale. And I said, Dad, it's 8 in the morning on Sunday morning. What? I'm like, he goes, well, it's in the classified section. Listen, it's $40,000 and it's in Beverly Hills. And I said, Dad, I said, and this is again pre-internet, not pre-internet, but yeah, pre-internet, because we don't, there's no Google search and all this and that. So he's looking at a physical newspaper in the classified section on a Sunday morning, and he sees this. It says 40K, right? And I said, Dad, it's a misprint. And he goes, no, it's a foreclosure. That's like one.
Wow.
And I said, all right, I'm not going to shake him. I got to get up. All right, fine. I'm up, Pops. All right, tell me. He goes, I want you to meet me at this location, and I'll see you in there in 20 minutes. And I'm like, all right, no shower. Just let's get going. Let's just get the troops. And me and my 2 dogs are going up there. So we drive up here. And this is in the day, again, when you had a Thomas guide, a physical book that was basically a city map book. So you look up the name of the street and you basically get the quadrant and you can find. So I come up here vis-a-vis that, and I'm not even registering Cielo Drive, private, Sharon Tate. None of that is going through my head. I'm just going up to see this lot. And again, it's like 8:15 in the morning. I'm driving up here. And I turn up this private drive and I'm like getting a flood of memories going, oh my God, I haven't been here in years. Let's see, 98. So 20 years I haven't been here in. Because early in high school, we used to come up here to the Tate property to look and Google, and basically, see where it all went down, because we all read Helter Skelter.
Right.
So I'm going, oh my God, I can't believe this is it. This is it. I can't. And as I get up to the vacant lot, I park my car and I bring my dogs out and I look down the street and I see a chain link fence and some big, some big wrought iron gate. And I just see like the concrete stop, the pavement stop, and then it's just gravel, meaning it's all broken up. And I'm like, that's under construction. What the? And then my dad drives up and it's like, he's in his Firebird. And I'm like, Dad, he gets out of the car and I said, that's where the Tate murders took place, Pops. And he goes, I don't care about that. I'm looking at this piece of real estate. Will you focus? Look, focus. This is what you're here for, is this piece of real estate. So I said, okay, Pops, okay. So I look at this lot, this hillside, and it's literally probably about this close to like 45-degree angle. And I'm looking down, I'm like, wow, that's intense, Dad. And he goes, yeah, isn't it? He goes, it's beautiful. He goes, we can get this for $40,000. We can build a house and we can sell it. And I'm thinking, build a house and sell it? Are you crazy? I have no interest in selling anything. If I build a house, I'm going to live in it because I've been living in an apartment for years. And I said, I've been paying rent and going nowhere. He said, why would I want to sell it? I said, especially on a private driveway. And I'm thinking to myself, this is an opportunity to build a house with my dad that I've always dreamed of building. Just like my sister, who my dad built her house when she bought a lot. And let's get into this, focus on what's going on. So basically, we end up getting this lot for $40,000. And I'm like, let's see, we bought it in January of 99. We started building in May and June. We started building because we had to go through all the city permits and the plans and the issuance of the, approval of the plans, and then all the this and the that. So it takes some time till you get to going. But I think it was February, my cat Arthur died. And I decided to bury him on the side of the hill of this property. And in a sense, I was marking it, saying a pact with the spirit, with the land, that I am going to bury my first cat here on this land because I want to be buried here on this land too, type of thing. I was making a pact with the land, and I didn't know it at the time. But when my friend Sean and I were on the side of the hill, some 10 feet down the slope, and digging the grave for Arthur, I just got this weird feeling like we weren't alone. And I looked at him, I said, Sean, I said, I don't know about you, but I said, I feel like we're not alone. Like there's some mourners around us. I said, spirits that are around us. I said, as we're doing this, and they're honoring Arthur and honoring me by putting him in the earth here. And he says, you know something, David? I feel it too. I didn't want to say anything, but I feel that exact same sensation. I was like, and I just knew there was something sacred and special about this land and my connection to it. I don't know how to say it otherwise. And during the construction, the laborers would say to me, because my dad was supervising, as one of the supervising contractors, because the contractor we got, funny story, he had a DUI. He completed all but 1 hour of his mandatory, of his DUI, sentence. And he got thrown in jail because the 1 hour was not completed. Ooh. And as a result, my father had to take over the reins of the job. So I spent a lot of time here. And I remember the laborers saying, David, where's the air hammer? I said, what are you asking me for? Well, he goes, you were the last one here last night. I figured, why wouldn't it be? I said, what, do you think I'm pulling some gags? I said, I'm not moving tools around when I come here to see how the day's work was. If I come here in the late afternoon, if I'm not here already here, late working or something. I said, so no, that's not me. He goes, oh, we found it. He goes, it's up in the second floor in the closet. I said, huh? What? And I myself had felt like, a lot of times walking around the house that I wasn't like alone. Like I felt like I'm thinking to myself, like looking at this. And I felt like somebody was walking up behind me and was standing behind me, was going to tap me on the shoulder and said, David, we need some approval for this. Or what should we do about this? And I turn around, there'd be no one there. And it happened more than on one occasion. I felt like, unsettled feeling of like, and it wasn't scary. It was irksome. I mean, it was just like curious.
Yeah.
Then we ended up building the house, finished the house, and right before we were done, as a matter of fact, right where I'm sitting, is in the dining room. We had to let the first guys go because we had done all the rough construction, and the rough contractors were being let go because now we're putting in the, let me see if I can remember correctly, the fixtures, like the light fixtures, the bathroom fixtures, the vanities, the marble floor, the marble vanities in the on the countertops and in the bars and all that stuff. We had to put all that stuff in. So the first set of construction guys were going off. So I said to them, I said, look, you five, I said, you guys have been here for the past 2 years plus working. I said, I got a question for you guys. Have any of you guys any weird, strange stuff happen to you while you were on the job site here? And one of the guys goes, yeah. And again, this is all in Spanish because it's not, these guys are from San Salvador, in El Salvador. So the guy says, and by the way, the age range was between 15 and 35. Their 35-year-old was the 15-year-old's son. So I said, tell me, he says, this is a different guy. This is the 26-year-old guy, Jorge. And Jorge goes, yeah, he goes, I had some weird shit happen in the house. I said, like, what kind of weird? He goes, well, I'm down on the 3rd floor working. It's about 6 o'clock in the mid-July last year. I said, yeah? He goes, and I hear voices and footsteps on the top floor. And meantime, all we have is the stairwell is 8 foot by 8 foot going down 40 some odd feet. And it opens up into the 3rd floor where it's an 8-foot opening into the landing that goes right into the theater room, which is now the theater room. And it had 12-foot high ceilings, or has 12-foot high ceilings. So it's all open. So the noises on the top floor carry straight down the stairwell and right in to the 3rd floor. So you can hear it from, easy as hell. Even to this day, we ended up having to build a wall and a doorway there because it was so loud that you could hear people on the top floor talking down the corridor and into that room. So it messed up the movie, and vice versa. When you're watching a movie, you could hear the movie coming through up here. So he says, I'm down there and I hear voices and footsteps from the top floor. So I go running upstairs thinking it's you and your father coming to inspect the site. I said, yeah. He goes, well, I go upstairs. I says, ¿Dónde estás? I says, Señor Paul, David, ¿dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? He goes, I go through the entire top floor looking because there's nothing there. He goes, I go outside looking up and down the driveway. Nothing, not even a car, except for his. And I'm like, yeah, I said, I've been here at 7 o'clock in the summertime. I said, it's fully sunny and there's no one the hell up here. It's empty. He goes, yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. I don't understand it. So he goes back downstairs, starts working again. 5 minutes later, voices and footsteps from the top floor. So he comes running upstairs and goes to the entire top floor, goes to the 2nd floor, goes again, looking at nothing. Besides, because that's it, I've had it. He's like fed up. So he goes downstairs and he starts packing his bags. He says, a few minutes later, I hear the sound of footsteps, leather-soled shoes coming down on the hardwood treads, because at the time, instead of carpeting, we just had the bare 2x10 treads that were in place going down the stairwell. So he said, yeah, what happened? He goes, I got into the gosh darn room, into the doorway, like 10 feet away from the landing. And I sat there in the door jar just listening, and footsteps are getting louder and louder till they finally got to the bottom of the landing and they stopped. He says, so I rushed out and I looked, but there's nothing there. So he says, I'm standing in the middle of the landing, right where the landing is. And he says, I feel this ice cold breeze, as he describes, like a chunk of ice almost, 2-inch wide band going across the nape of his neck, above his hair, above the shoulder, below the hairline. And he says he got all of a sudden like frozen, like he got all stiff. And he says the hairs on his body stood straight up. At which point he screams, "A dos míos, llame boy, llame boy." translate from Spanish means, oh my God, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. And he ran out of the house, didn't come back for 6 weeks. And I said to him, I said, wait a second. Is that when you told the guys you were taking care of your mom who was sick in San Salvador? He goes, yeah. I said, I remember because you were doing the tile work for the entire house and you had yet to do the master bathroom. And I was getting so sick and tired of waiting for you that I ended up doing the gosh darn job myself. And he goes, yeah, I saw the job. He goes, yeah, I could see you did a really good job. And you're like being sarcastic because some of the tiles were like this, some of them were like this. It was like, he said, furthermore, he says, those are natural stone. You were supposed to take the natural stone out of the box and arrange them like a jigsaw puzzle. Because unlike the fake stones or the regular, the tiles that are all the same, these all have a pattern. And he goes, and you're supposed to take them out because by taking them out, you can arrange them so you can get the veins going through each one and continue to the next tile to make sense of what you're doing. Otherwise, you have a vein like this, and then it goes to a flat thing where there's no vein on this next tile, and then you have a tile that's got a vein like this, and you're going. So he says, well, I admire your, I said, well, I saw you doing it. I was like, you slap it on, you put it down. He goes, yeah, well, it's a lot more difficult than that. It's like, yeah, apparently it is. So, to needless to say, if people don't believe the story, I bring them downstairs to the bathroom and said, take a look at the tile. Now, do you believe me? The crown jewel bathroom of the bathrooms of the house is a mess. So, trust me, the story is real. So I said, why did you come back? He goes, because I didn't get paid for the prior 3 weeks before I left. I said, oh, God. He goes, yeah. But he says, after I came back, I was always the first to leave at the end of the day at 5 o'clock, or if anybody else left, I would leave with them. I didn't want to be in that house alone ever again.
Wow. That's quite amazing story for the workers.
Crazy.
Did you start documenting events at that time? Like take any recordings of everybody?
I recorded a personal diary. Again, you got to remember, this is not when you had cell phones that had cameras in them in 2000 and 2000. That was in 2001. I was talking to him about stuff because I didn't finish the house until 2002.
So you were documenting it on your own though, so that you had a record of everything that was being told to you. That's great.
Yeah, I had literally I don't want to say a diary, thank you, a journal.
Right.
So when I moved in the house and I started having stuff happen, I was like going, like for instance, my dog, Sebastian, my Rhodesian Ridgeback, would bark incessantly at the front door. And one thing about Rhodesian Ridgebacks are they're one of the quietest dogs, big dogs you've ever seen in your life, meaning they don't bark for no reason. Meaning if there's somebody that's a threat to the house outside, they hear them, they bark to let the homeowner, they're like an alarm. They're like the four-legged alarm. You've never seen better. They generally do not bark. He would bellow at the front door as if someone was there. And we'd open the door and we'd no one there. We also had multiple occasions where the doorbell would ring or we heard knock, knock at the front door and we'd open the door, no one there. And no ding-dong ditches either.
So you count the floors as the top floor being the first and the bottom floor being the third.
Yes, exactly.
In reverse. Okay. I was wondering.
Because you're going down. When you go up on an elevator, so you remember it's going 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, if you're going down, you can't go 1. You can't go 3, 2, 1. You got to go 1 again. Hello, first floor, second floor, third floor, going down.
What year did you start putting cameras in?
I'd have to say like 2014, I think, for the past 12 years now.
Did you already have investigators coming in to investigate the location?
Oh, yeah. That's the only reason why I decided to have cameras is because I remember having investigators here and they'd bring in their equipment and they'd have to, again, you didn't have wireless. And again, with what's going on in the house, you wouldn't want to use wireless because you would have the possibility of having some type of transmission issues very easily.
Right.
And if you're trying to document something that you know plays with electrical fields, why would you take any chances in risking that a wireless system would be installed when, oh God, the footage didn't get recorded? Oh God, no signal feed. What the? So no, they're wired cameras. Like I said, it makes it much easier and much more dependable, and less problems in the long run, if
Right.
that makes sense. And again, I've got videos from before 2014 here in the house that other people had shot with their standard definition cameras that they had at the time, and in infrared was very, very, in its, I don't want to say infancy, but the quality is pretty, not as good as it is today, but still, I've got stuff that'll put you in the back seat going, what the hell was that? It's like, I don't know.
Is there a doorway off your right shoulder there?
Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going into the little. It's probably about a 6-foot corridor, and then it goes into a little bathroom in there.
Yeah, I keep seeing movement
Back in the
there.
day when
I lost you.
back in the day, no,
Oh boy.
when Ghost Adventures was there.
Yeah.
Okay, when you guys were down in the bottom, and you were in that room with the tree stump, like.
Yeah. Do you want me to take you
Is
there
that
right
still
now?
there?
Oh yeah. You want me to take you there?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll tell you one thing. I
can.
just ate a crow because I'm thinking, yeah, I bet it's God. What's the temperature here? It's here. I'll tell you in 2 seconds. It's 51 degrees outside right now. So in the third level in that area, it'll probably be about 53. Because I don't heat it for any reason. No one's going down there. But if you want, I'll go down there and take you for a little view if you want.
Well, if
you want.
I don't want you to catch pneumonia or nothing if you go down there.
No, I have a busted water heater, so I had to take a shower down there earlier. Shiloh, stay good.
He's gonna put your ski jacket on.
Well, this jacket actually, you heard of the famous Chuck
Can
Barris?
you hear me?
Yes. This is Chuck Barris,
Yes.
the famous guy from the Gong Show. This he gave me years ago, 30 years ago. This was his boat, Bam Bam of South Philly. So let's go.
Wonderful. That's great.
Yeah, he was a neighbor of mine back in the
That's
day.
cool.
He loved my dog, Sebastian, the one in the movie. So, all right, here we go. Let's go. I didn't mean to do that. That was terrible. Catch you up. All right, up on the flip side. There we go.
I got a bump on my head.
Don't even start. All right, so
This is really cool. This is really cool.
give me some light.
Boy, oh boy. It's been a long time.
This is the hallway.
Can you
of
hear
course,
me,
the door-
Carol?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Now we're going down.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Ooh, yeah, and freaking cold. Ooh, is it cold?
It's like the Antarctic down there, huh?
Oh, I'm telling you, you don't even know. All right, here we go. Open sesame. Oh, good, the lights are working. Spirits. This, of course, is the theater room.
Wow.
Wow. That's beautiful.
That's the screen right there, of course.
Yeah, the energy is really strong in that house.
Yeah.
I could feel it.
This, of course, is the guest bedroom. I wish I had a better camera since it looks a little limited, but yes, and this is There's the ceiling with the big, I guess you call it tapestry. Had lots of activity, lots
Yes.
of things happen in this room, like crazy stuff. This is still all left from 6 years ago, from the 50th anniversary. 7 years ago? Seven. Right, seven. You're right, 7 years ago from the 50th anniversary of the
Wow.
Sharon Tate
Wow.
murders. A lot of these posters are authentic and real, like that piece poster there is from 68. So is the one over there. The war is not healthy for children. The magic mushrooms. We're all mad. Said the Mad Hatter. All right, let's go in here. All right, wait, turn the light off there. This, of course, is where we have the seance table. Oh, and there, of course, is the layer piano, or the little piano that plays by itself. Here, let's get some light here. Come on. There you go. My UCLA man cave. All right, here we go. Da-da-da. So I have a chance to hold this.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Yes, please do, kids. It's an e-ticket.
You have Native Americans there too, right?
Well, supposedly Lisa Williams, the famous psychic, said that there's a Native American who died. This is that room, kids. This is it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Wow, that's really strong down there.
Can you feel that?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
This
I
is
actually
the room.
feel like
That's
there is a
why.
Native American there.
That's
also.
why I asked.
There's the altar.
Crazy. Thank you very much for taking us there, David.
Sure, I figured your audience would like to see this as well, I'm sure.
I don't
And
know
the reason-
if my mic is.
Yeah, and,
Oh,
and by
sure.
the way, the reason why this is the way this is because when we were building the house, my father wanted to turn this floor into a separate apartment. And I said, hell no. I wired it for a sound system, so it would be a theater room. And he said, well, then I'm going to leave this as a gosh darn storage space, and it's going to be roughed out like this. And I said, and again, all of this, what you see here, I installed about 10 years ago. And again, by the way, when this, you see this plank here? Here, I'll put the light on so you can see. Where the room was, this platform right here and this piece of wood, that's where the earth came down to. What you see carved out was not
Right.
cut out until 10 years, or maybe 14 years ago, I carved out this section of earth. So this was literally, you just walked here and it was just bam. This
Wow.
is where the earth was right like here. So you literally, when Zach was here, this earth was right here. I cut this all out, as you see.
Yeah.
But at the time, my father wanted to turn this into an apartment. And I said, no. So he said, well, I'm going to leave it alone then. I said, fine, leave it alone. What do I care? That's why this was left like this. It wasn't anything to do with, I knew the ghosts were here. No, my father didn't want to, put the money, and he was trying to threaten me and strong arm me to say, we're going to turn this into a kitchenette because it's going to cost you $25,000 if you do it. And I got news to you. It only cost me around $4,500 to build what you see here, the cabinets, this whole thing they built, and then put a refrigerator and put the cabinetry there. It was ridiculous. So that's kind of why this whole thing became into existence. It's not like my dad, like I wanted this to be what it is now. You see, it is what it is now because my dad threatened me in a way that wasn't going to happen. So that's the story of that. Any questions from the audience?
That's beautiful.
I kind of feel like it was meant to be that way anyway.
Oh, absolutely. You've got
Yes.
it. You know it.
Yes. The house is definitely built into that mountain,
Oh, yeah.
that
Well, it's
hillside. Yeah.
Well, it's everything else in the house does not form the way that, how should we say, this house does. I mean, no. What I'm saying is the house sits on the slope of the hill. It's not built into the hillside. It sits
Right.
onto the hillside. The house next door to me, they literally eviscerated the mountain. All of they did was they went to the hillside and cut it out 60 feet out and took out a wedge of earth, if you can imagine.
Wow.
And that's how they built that house out next door out of concrete.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's go back upstairs. I know your poor audience is going, I'm getting
Okay.
seasick. Oh, look who came downstairs. That's
I
Shiloh.
appreciate you going down there.
Yeah, Shiloh, come on, go on. That's my dog, Shiloh. She finally came downstairs. Hey, Shiloh, come on, Shiloh. Come on.
She's very cute.
Yeah, come on, Shiloh. Go. There she is. She's 14 months old. Come on, Shy.
Come on.
Literally, her name is Shylo.
She looked like she was shy on the camera.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Shiloh, come on. Shiloh, come upstairs, you knucklehead. Funny dog. She is so funny. She has never gone downstairs. In the 4 weeks I've owned her, she's never gone downstairs, ever gone down there.
Wow.
Yeah, video of her going and running upstairs. The fact that she was thinking I was in some danger.
You
is why
said 4 weeks?
4 weeks she's been here. 4 weeks yesterday.
Yeah, the animals
That is a
definitely
cool
pick up
jacket.
on spirits. That's
Thank
You
you.
got
I
to be
love
proud
it.
of that.
Oh, I'm very proud of it. People don't know. Like, what's that? It's like, well, that's Chuck's. Bam Bam of South Philly.
I actually love your shirt.
Oh, you mean this one? Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Hi, Christy. Yeah, she's a sweet dog.
Yeah, Christy's here.
Hi.
Christy's been putting a lot of stuff in her.
Hi, Barbara. Chuck Barris. Yeah, he was a great guy. I can do my best Chuck Barris
Barbara's
accent.
saying,
Yes, my impersonation of Chuck. Hey, David, how are you? It's good to see you. You keep that dog on a leash, David. I'm telling you, keep Sebastian on a fucking leash. If you don't, I'm going to kill you. If he gets hurt, I'm going to come down to next door and kick your ass, you son of a bitch. I'm being goddamn serious. Don't think I'm being funny. I mean, he was like that. That's the way Chuck was. He fell in love. He loved dogs, and he saw my first dog, my Rhodesian Ridgeback Sebastian. He goes, come here, let me see that dog. Because I love this dog. He just sit there and he'd fawn his ass over the dog. And he was like, that's how I ended up making friends with him. And he was my neighbor. And he lived in an apartment right next door to my apartment. I was like down in the building next door to mine. And I used to sit there and he goes, David, how are you? And he goes, I want you to have something. I goes, this is my boat. It's in Paris. I run it. He was like, he was such a personable guy. And boy,
how long ago did he pass?
he probably passed like 15 years ago, I think. I haven't talked to him. I mean, he lived next door and then he ended up like 5, 6, 7. He lived there for a long time, but then he moved out and moved to New York, as I recall, and I lost touch of him and such. But he was just such a character, such a nice guy. I'll never forget him. It's one of those things. It's like, you knew him? It's like, yeah, I used to hang out in an apartment and talk to him. I didn't even think about any of this.
EMF.
Yeah.
So the EMFs that you have in the house, have they fluctuated at all?
Oh yeah.
Have you found any pattern to it?
No rhyme or reason.
Okay.
Not even with what's happening with the sun recently and the EMFs coming
No
off
rhyme.
of that?
Nothing to do with anything going on here. It has more to do with put it this way. It, as Barry Taff had said and surmised and theorized, he thought that it had more to do with what's going on inside the earth than externally from the than the air. Let's put it that way. If there was anything that I remember him stating, and I've talked to him all the time. I mean, crap, if you want, I could call him up right now, you know. The idea is that it has something to do with the geomagnetic anomaly in the earth and the way that the house is constructed with the 13 30-foot caissons that go down into the earth, that's what's causing the magnetization going up the caissons, which are reinforced with steel rebar, and then into the entire house. Because supporting the third floor that we were on and then supporting the second floor are 3 steel columns that are connected to 2 steel I-beams running across the width of the house, supporting it structurally.
So it's
And
like ley lines
well, more like a Ferris
built into the house.
like a Ferris cage that's built into the house.
Right.
Which is basically an iron cage, and it's magnetized, and then you have that 30-foot, wrought iron spiral staircase, which acts like a giant coil, which is super magnetized. I mean, Barry was taking his pure magnetometer, and he's going, this thing is going up to 2,000 milligauss. It's like, what? He goes, 2,000 milligauss positive. At the bottom of the stairs, it's 2,000 milligauss negative. And he goes, and what's worse is the meter will only register up to 2,000. I goes, what happens? He goes, it's peaking. He goes, it doesn't register beyond that. It doesn't go further because the meter can't read fast beyond that. It's like, he goes, it could be 3,000, 4,000. I don't know how much it is. It's off the charts, but my meter is not calibrated to register that high.
Wow.
Oh.
Do you have any
That's very interesting because
I've sorry, Greg.
Christy's mentioning the electricity. Yeah, no, but Christy, that's the thing. Even when we have the Santa Ana winds blowing and the static electricity is in the air, that just amplifies what's already here in the house.
Right.
So it's not in. I mean, what's worse is terrible for me to say that. What's stranger is we have this amplifier probe that's used in telephone or wiring setups, where on one end there's a battery pack, and it sends a signal, and you connect it to the wires, so it goes down a bundle of wires, so you can isolate a wire by using this little device that basically on the other end will find the wire because it's tuned in to as an amplifier. It hears the signal coming down the wire and it picks it up. Out of 100 wires, it'll give you the wire. When they were installing the cameras, my friend who was installing the cameras by accident hit the button on his little amplifier device, and it was he goes, that shouldn't make any sound at all.
So that's an oscillator, right?
Yes. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think I got one over. I've got it here. There it is. I can get it out and show you, but you walk around the house, and I said, if I do this, and he goes, it shouldn't be registering anything. I said, what do you mean? He goes, the antenna, the probe, has got about 1.5 foot distance range, tops. I said, tops? He goes, yeah. So I says, look what I do. He goes, I can turn the device on, and look how far away it'll pick up the signal. I said, oh my God. And I'm sitting here in the middle of this living room, and the living room is like 12-foot high ceiling, and I'm like 8 feet up, my hand's 8 feet in the air, so there's 4 feet of space. And he goes, there should be nothing registering. He goes,
so investigators that come in and use their equipment, it must go off the charts.
Sometimes it does. It fluctuates. The stuff. Look, we have people tomorrow night. Thank you for reminding me. The KKC Paranormal Research Team is doing their ghost investigation here from 8 in the evening to 1 in the morning. It's $100. We include food and drink, and we also have access to the cameras and equipment. So if you're in a room and you hear something, you feel something, you see something, you write down the time and what you saw, and we can go and review it on the cameras. And you can take the footage back with you so you can have it as a memento of your trip and visit here.
Oh, that's wonderful, David.
And they have all the equipment. And we also have a thermal camera.
Wow.
I think we have the REM pod, the K2 meters, the cat toys, the cat balls that light up, the flashlights, the dead bells, or dead bell, 2 dead bells. It sounds so stupid, but dead bell. And they do something that's very unique. They do a setup in front of the house in the driveway. For like 20 minutes, they do basically a Q&A with the spirits, and put up every single device I've just mentioned and the flashlights, that get turned on when something touches them. They're very sensitive.
Uh-huh.
And the REM pod, all the stuff's going off, and I'm going, the cat balls as well. What the hell? And then they said, turn them off. Come on, reset them. And then they turn off. And I'm like, okay, okay, I got to go inside the house now. I've seen more than enough because there's no explanation for it. It's not like they're messing with equipment and pressing remote controls to make this stuff happen. And I've seen it, and I've seen it enough times here. I go, there's no wind or breeze, and it's the gosh darn middle of the concrete. So how is something kicking the ball and we're not seeing it? It lights up. I'm going, and it's not like randomly. It's like she asks a question. She goes, turn on the light. The flashlights go off. They do the same stuff in the house and stuff happens. I'm like going, okay, I've seen plenty. I've seen so much. And they've been coming here for the past year now, just visiting as friends to hang out. And said, let's do this with some people come in and see if we can have some more fun. I said, okay. So
Yes, because when other people come in with their different energies, it kicks up different spirits.
Exactly.
What comes with them.
The spirits that come in with them add more spirits to the house that's here. And I've said to people, you might want to see Sharon Tate. Great. What's in it for them to see you? Right. Why are they interested in seeing you? Is there something that you offer them? I'm their biggest fan. It's like, okay, but you're not related to them. You're not a friend of theirs. You're not in some way connected to their existence or their past. I said, so what's in it for them? And that's what I try to say to people. It doesn't make a sense when people, don't take into account the spirits' beliefs and thoughts.
Right. Have you noticed that any spirits that come with people that come to investigate or friends that come over have their own spirits that actually stay there in the house with you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've had people come here and run out of the house. A few years ago, there was a producer that came to see the movie. Speaking of the movie, this movie, my movie, House at the End of the Drive.
Right. There you go.
And he's down in the theater room. I came upstairs to get him something to drink and something to eat. And I'm in the kitchen. I'll never forget. I'm making something. And all of a sudden, I hear the door from the bottom of the stairs shut. And I hear footsteps coming up the stairs. And it's like at a rapid clip, at a rapid pace. And then I see this guy, him walk up and blows right past me, goes out the front door, gets in his car. And I'm like, what the, huh? So I said, what's going on? He says, I rolled down the window. He goes, I got to get out of here. I said, what's the matter? He goes, I said, what's the matter? He goes, I had something happen. I said, yeah, well, tell me about it. He goes, I felt somebody's hand went through my hair like this and back and forth. I said, what? He goes, and then I felt another hand going up and down like this, the length of my spine and my back through my leather jacket. I'm like going, whoa. He goes, I'm going like this. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I got the fuck out of there. And that was it. I'm out. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm thinking, I said, I said to him, I said, who do you think it is? And he's sitting there thinking, and I said, oh my God. And then I heard a voice said, it's his two friends that died. And I was like, one. So I said, and I heard another thing. It said one of his friends died in a mountain climbing accident, and the other guy died in a strange automobile accident. So I said to him, I looked at him, I said, I just heard that it was your two friends that died. One died this many years ago, and the other one died this many years ago. He's like this. He's like just got like you hit a nail on the head. And it's like bing. And he's like going. He goes. I said one guy died. I said in a car accident, and so that was a guy who died this many years ago. And the other guy who died more recently died from falling off of a mountain. He was mountain climbing and he fell off the cliff. And he was even doubly slipped. Like what the how that? And he says, how did you know that? He goes, I don't even know you because I just was referred to you, etc. I said, yeah, I know you were. I said, look, I'm just telling you that's who it was. I said, it was your friends, not mine, nothing to do with the house. I said, your friends reached out to you, say they want to let you know that they were here and they were thinking, because you're here. He goes, that's it. He goes, I got to get the hell out of here. I'm gone. And he drove off.
Oh, that would have made me stay all the more longer.
Some people don't want to deal with that, which they can't comprehend.
Right.
And because of that, they'd rather not be afraid than be, brave and deal with it.
Yeah. a lot of people are very
Well,
skeptical also of what could possibly
the
be there.
energy.
What is
I still have a delay.
Yes, a little bit.
Do I still have a? Do I have a delay
A little.
now? The energy, because of that energy, and somebody that comes in from outside, automatically it would go ahead and draw into them spirit from outside or ones that are around them.
I think
Right?
it's more the familiars, the people that are, I think people have a misconception about spirits that if it's connected to you, that's who will come to you, if that makes sense. So if it's somebody that you knew when they were alive, or it's a relative that was, a distant relative or something that's connected to you, more likely than somebody that you didn't know that you're a fan of and you're fawning over, and it's just, something that, going to Valentino's grave and saying, Rudy, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. Who the hell are you? Because
Right.
it's got to be a two-way street. It can't be just I. Put it this way. The Earth is not the center of the universe, contrary to what medieval church belief was. And it's the same thing for we are not the center of our universe, that it doesn't work that we can expect everything to revolve around our wishes, our desires, what we want. It's not us. It's more or less, it's their determination if they wish to make that accommodation to reach out to us.
Right. And when is the best time for that person to get that information?
Right. Well, at this house, it has, because the elevated EMF levels, it's easier for spirits to manifest here than in other places. But again, I hate to say it's free will, but it's free will of the spirits to decide, which is truly what it is, because that's really where it is. It's not about our free will. It's about their free will to decide if they wish to or not to wish to engage with us.
Right.
So everybody that's there that comes to your house turns into being basically a antenna that would draw.
Exactly. Just curious,
correct?
what is Christy? Yes, what is Christy? Why not altitude? Is you mean at altitude? We're not that. We're at sea level. We're not even at a half a mile or a quarter of a mile in the air. I mean, above sea level here. We're at 800 feet above sea level. We're pretty much at sea level. That's the thing, Kathy. We're not. Christy. We're not at that high at an altitude.
Christy.
I actually have a spirit here in the house that likes
Yeah,
to whistle.
but that's the whole business of the house being.
Well, she also said the Earth is really flat, which we know that that's not possible or true. Free will is the soul.
But she said, what she mentions a frequency.
100%, Dave. Most spirits.
So we're all basically we're grounded. So we become antennas.
No, I think that the spirit that here in the house,
the frequency Christy brought up.
He's a little delayed there, David. His internet is a little
Are you okay?
Yeah, I thought it seems like I burned the roof of my mouth. It was like going, God, there's a burning sensation there. Don't know what I could have done, but obviously I did it. So no, what I was saying was
you didn't lick any battery cables.
I certainly hope not.
We won't talk about that story, will we, Greg?
I said I don't think he licked any battery cables. That would do it.
Don't go telling anybody my battery story.
No, it's not bleeding. It just sore.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that.
But I was saying, David, I have a spirit here that likes to follow me in my bathroom and then whistle in my ear when I go in there. It's quite annoying. that
Well,
they don't listen.
oh, I would have to suspect that would be very annoying.
But
It likes to like touch my spine too. I could feel it going up and down my spine.
Yeah, just like the like that producer.
Yeah.
I find that so amusing. It's like going, okay, I said, no, a little to the left. I said, make them work for you. I said, what do you care that they're messing with, playing with you? I say, go here on this shoulder, up here. Is that about over here?
Yeah,
I said,
do
while you're
a
at it,
massage then.
a little over here. I said, on this shoulder. Come on. You're not doing anything. Come on, do something. Come on.
Have you noticed that any of the activity in your home has gotten stronger through the years? Like more spirits coming in and staying there because of the other spirits there?
No,
No.
I'd say not really. It doesn't. It's not. I'm trying to. Then again, you got to remember, after 24 years of living here, it might also have more to be with the fact that I'm just more accustomed to it.
Okay.
It's kind of hard for me to say because obviously, and then watch something new will happen tomorrow. I go, okay, that's new. That's what I'm trying to say to you. It's hard to say. I mean, through the years, different things have happened.
Right.
Let's put it that way. And I've been privy to things that other people first got to experience, which pissed me off because it's like an example, the bathroom right behind me, the faucets turned on for themselves for a friend of mine. And I was like, hey, spirits. Why him first? I think I deserve the first opportunity to have that happen. I think and then somebody else happened to him, like going, I going, really? Her? You're freaking her out, but you didn't turn it on for me. I said, fine. You didn't turn the faucets on for me. Different bathroom, but okay. And then finally it happened for me. And I'm like, gee, it only took you 7 years to get to me. 2 or 3 other people had it happen to them, but I'm like finally getting around to me. It's like, great.
That's funny.
It is kind of, I mean, people like, oh, you serious? I said, yeah. I was kind of like, and when it happened, I said, oh, that's so cool. I said, but by the way, we're going through a terrible drought right now. So let's lay off the water gags anymore. And people like, I said, yeah. I said, that's what I said to them. I said, I had to think about it in terms of if they keep doing this, I'm going to be the one that pays for it. And I don't need to afford that. So
do you feel like the spirits that have passed at different time periods, can they see each other within your home, or do they interact with each other?
You mean like the TV show Ghosts, the spirits just said? I swear to God, the spirits are like the TV show Ghosts, they said. It's like, and I'm like, don't look at me like I know what the hell. I don't even watch the show. You know better than that, spirits.
That's funny.
That's a good question. I can't answer that. I cannot. I know that when Lisa Williams was here,
I was just going to go ahead and say somebody in the comment section went ahead and wrote something that was inappropriate, and we got your name, and don't ever do it again. If you want to use that language,
my God,
go
I just
somewhere
saw
else.
that.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Please. Yeah, and that's not very nice, and this isn't the place for it. And if you try to do it again, then what's going to happen is
please leave.
We have if we got moderators, and they'll write your name down, and that'll be it. So be respectful. Thank you, Christy.
Yeah, who's that?
It's insane, to have a show like this. It was for Christy.
Oh wow, that's kind of rough.
Obviously, because Christy went ahead. It is. That's not very nice. So, I don't want to go ahead. You have another question or not?
Of course, you know me. I like to
Carol.
talk, Greg. Okay, I'll ask you.
You can go ahead because it's if you guys are having trouble hearing me.
No, we're not. We're not having trouble
Go.
hearing you. I
Oh,
don't
you're
remember
not.
what I had
Okay.
asked.
Okay. What I would say is this. I've been with you over numerous times between me. Remember Reggie? Reggie and I were together quite a bit, and we had you on numerous times. And you've always been the kind of person that's very, very, you're cool, you know, and you have it together, and the spirits enjoy you, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be there. So you've got that going for you too at the same time. Now, in do you talk to them as far as the future is concerned?
I
Do
mean,
you ask them,
I asked for their
what
help,
are your
whether or not
thoughts about? No.
I asked for their assistance in certain matters, like the movie, like getting it out, since I did it in honor of them. But I mean, whether or not I get
Right.
a coherent response to that.
So you can't get them to help with the house cleaning or anything either, right? I can't get mine to do that either.
Yeah, right.
Although I would love it.
Oh, no doubt. Are you serious? I'm working. I spent
So
2.5 hours before the show working on a gosh darn
so
water.
so
Wow.
so we're at that point, and what I want to say is this: why don't you let everybody know where they can go ahead and get the movie, and where you're at, your address and everything, so that they can come and knock on your door and go boo. And if they got a pumpkin in their hand, you're going to give them a piece of candy.
Yeah, thanks, but I think they don't need my address. That's for goddamn sure. Here's the information where you can see the movie. You can get the movie. God,
Yeah.
let's get that thing to line up. There, can you guys see that? Is that clear
Okay,
yet?
it's
House at the end of the drive.
yes, I see the first two lines.
Well, the most important line is to see the movie is the house at the end of the drive.
And what?
BHS.TV.
And how about getting in touch with you for any investigating?
And then it says, watch the video shot at the Omen House.
Yeah, theomenhouse.com is where they can see, get in touch if they want to rent the house out for any events or anything. Or like I said, tomorrow night we have the event going on. Then, of course, the book, ghostsofcielodrive.com. You can get a copy of this book, the one and only authoritative story of the Omen House. It actually is a pretty damn good book, if I do say so. We've already sent out 1,000 copies between sold and critics' copies. We have yet to get a negative review on it because it's just a cut and dry story, just like basically it's the diary or the journal put into the book. And of course, other anecdotal stories of other people that have been here, Dr. Barry Taft's experience and write-ups. It's fascinating. And yes, I signed the copy of the book. And it also has pictures of ghosts, actually, not just pictures of myself, but for instance, there's a picture of a ghost right there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
There's a picture there of a ghost and then a picture outside. I mean, I know other people who have their books with pictures of themselves. I don't think that's that important. If you have a book about hauntings, I think you should have the picture of some pictures of ghosts if you've got any to share. So
right. So, David, I have one last question.
Yes, that's fantastic.
What do you feel is the purpose of life? Why are we all here?
I have no answer to that.
No answer.
I have no answer. I care not to go into the depths of that. I don't even think about it myself in my off time, honestly, only because I can't give you an answer. I mean, I can't. I just don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. I don't even care to speculate, honestly, just because it's just
You've
that
you
type of questions. Just
you
because I have too many friends that are no longer with us.
you've been a fantastic.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a different mic, and I'm going to go ahead and just roll the roost. You know, when it comes to going ahead and having people, I've had 3 people in a row where I've had some problems with my internet. Now the internet's supposed to be good, and now I'm having issues with a little bit with the mic. But you know,
The mic sounds fine,
it's been a
Greg.
pleasure having you here.
Oh God!
And you know, I've always gone ahead and said that, you know, I think about you more than you want me to. Okay, let's put it that way. I feel that you need to be. You see, you like that, don't you? You see, it's a good thing, because I'm one of the people that's, you know, in the north, up in central northern Illinois, up by Wisconsin, who really appreciates a person like you that's put a lot of your life into doing what you're doing, into your house and into the spirits. And you have people that are right close to you that are spirits now, that can come over there and not be afraid of visiting you. You know what I'm saying? Because they do get skittish. And I know there's a lot of people that know that. But, you know, we've had a great crowd tonight. There's been a lot of people. Irene's here. Irene, and she's from Japan, and she does a great job. She has a couple shows. And the Parahistorian's back, Christy, and all you guys that have been in the room tonight, you know, except for the one that sort of went ahead and made that comment. That you're the only person, and I'm not going to forget you. So don't ever try to do it again. We'll bury you in David's basement.
Great.
Thank you very much, David.
My pleasure. And don't forget,
we can't bury him in the basement.
Don't forget the YouTube channel. Subscribe. YouTube.
I will.
/ David Oman.
Right. And I'm going to I'll have you back on a couple months down the road, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because It's always a pleasure having you here. You're one of those, you know, you're really, really great. And
well, thanks.
Thank you very much for being here. If you want to hang around for a few minutes after I get rid of, if you want to hang around, I'm going to get rid of I'm going to kick the people out, and then we can go ahead. Okay.
The show.
So
remember to smile, everyone.
Thanks again, and thank you everybody in the chat for being here. It was a great, and so you're going to say something, Carol?
No, I just said remember to smile.
Thanks, Christy, for the comments. I appreciate it.
What are you going to say?
I did. I said remember to smile.
Yeah, everybody here, great. Okay.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks a lot, everybody, and we'll talk to you later. We'll see you next week. Hopefully I get this cleared up. Good night. Ha 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 ha.